Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV, my name is Alex. I'm standing outside Stamford Bridge with Charlie, and another day, another L, my friend. I know you couldn't come to Liverpool, probably glad you didn't come to Liverpool. What made you pluck up the courage to decide to come to Stamford Bridge today?
I don't know, mate. It's pure stupidity, really, isn't it? Mate, do you know what the worst thing is, right? I'm not even surprised that this is happening. Like, almost half expected it. Did I think we were going to come here today and win? I thought we might have a slight chance, but I'm not surprised we lost. But it's just, it's more disappointment than anger now. Sort of past the anger stage. We're just like, what's the point in getting angry about it? You know, nothing's changing right now. You know, we're just in a situation where, from top to bottom, we are clueless, and that's from owners to sporting directors to manager to players to everyone, mate. No one knows what to do, and no one knows what's going on. And you know, I just don't know where we go from him, mate. It's all very well, you know, the manager needs to go. Okay, I hear that point of view. You know, what he's producing right now is not good enough. He said in the presser afterwards, himself included, it's not good enough. What's going on? We're not good enough right now. Well, yes, of course. What are you going to do to try and sort that out? My biggest thing is with the manager now is that he's been here, 6-7 months, and no one can tell me our style or our identity. You don't know what you're going to get from week to week. You don't know what we're trying to do. You see games like Man City and stuff and you think, okay, that's what we're trying to do, but that's like one game this season. Can anyone tell me what we're trying to do right now with this team? What are we doing? Like, no one can say what the plan is, what we're doing. The players don't look like they know what they're doing. It's basic shit, mate. How many times Wolves just exploited us? Ball over the top, in behind Chilwell, who, by the way, was useless again today. Not just him, but he was shit. Ball in behind him, cross, deflection, in it goes. Easy, basic stuff. And we're not switching onto it. You think the first couple of times it happens, okay, they're making that ball in behind. I'll drop deeper and stop that from happening. And yet, just let the same thing happen over and over again. There's no in-game management. All the changes are reactive. Why are you waiting to 3-1 down in a toxic environment to then chuck on Mudryk and Chukwuemeka? We're chasing the game. They should have been on at half-time, or they should have been on at like 55, 60 minutes. Don't wait for us to go 3-1 down and then chuck on 2 young players to try and make something happen. Be proactive. Don't be fucking reactive. Like, be a bit more ballsy. Just take a bit more of a risk. We're losing anyway. What more have you got to lose? If you lose 2-1 or 3-1, you fucking lost anyway. So you might as well lose trying to go for it. And we just don't go. We're safety first, mate. We play with the handbrake on. We go a goal up in this game, you know. We're lucky not to have been goal down, you know, first couple of minutes, you know, twice we gave the ball away really cheaply, and luckily the Wolves' efforts were pretty poor on goal and they didn't punish us. But mate, I just think it's a fucking disgrace from top to bottom. Like, it really is. And so many people not good enough in their jobs right now, and that's everyone. And when you've got collectively everyone, from owners to directors to managers to players, all not playing well, you get a mess like we've got right now. And I don't know what the answer is. I honestly don't know what the answer is. Say get rid of the manager, right? Okay, fine. Let's hypothesize that. The manager goes, all right, you're not going to get in who you want, so you go down another interim route, all right, to the end of the season. That probably sets us back further in the long run.
Well, it did last season,
and that probably sets you back further. And then you get to the summer, and everyone's like, oh, we need an elite manager. We're not going to get an elite manager. It's going to be another project manager, and it'll be appointed by these directors, and then we'll have the same conversation 6 months into their reign. Oh, it's not working. So I get it that it's crap right now, and the manager's not showing any signs of improvement. Hardly any players have improved whatsoever. There's no style of players, I was saying. But other people need to take responsibility as well. Ultimately, it does fall on the manager, of course it does, but other people have got to take responsibility. Where are these sporting directors? They come out and done an interview in the summer, patting themselves on the back about their recruitment. Where the fuck are you now? Where are you now? Like, where's your thoughts on how this squad's been built? You know, why is no one coming out and taking responsibility, taking accountability? You know, how can we start again for the 4th time in 2 years of ownership? We're going to start again. And what's going to change until we get a proper director of football, someone that best in class. We were promised best in class, right? When these guys come, we have not got best in class. Do we have best in class in a manager? No. Do we have best in class in sporting directors? No, we don't. Do we have best in class in medical team? Do we have best in class in all these things? No, we fucking don't. So why are we promised best in class and we don't have it? Get me some proper director of football, because right now for me, mate, you can have whatever manager you want. until the structure changes and you get proper footballing people that know what they're doing above, you're going to have the same problems over and over again. And there's no shame in choosing a route to go down and then realising, do you know what, fuck, this route's not working. We need to backtrack a little bit and we need to change it.
Yeah.
And we're not doing it. We were promised this. January was the third window of a 4-window plan. Well, I can't wait to see what the fourth fucking window is of the 4th window plan. Is that where we get some top quality pros in that are ready to perform right now? Is that what we've waited for the 4th window for? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
We didn't expect to get anything special in January, but even just getting rid of Broha, it didn't make much sense to me considering we have a striker problem.
Mate, do you know what the biggest thing is with this ownership right now? Is that they're so fixated on the future, they've just forgotten about the present and not realising that we actually need to get some results now and do some performances now and have success now. They're so fixated on the future. Like, we needed a centre forward this month. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm glad we didn't just panic buy one. But we know we need goals, right? But what we do instead is we let someone go who, all right, is not great, but could be a source of goals, and it's just an option up there and the profile that we don't have in the squad. We let him go. We go from wanting, he's not leaving unless we get a replacement. We then want 50 million for him. We then want 35. Then it's a loan with an obligation. Then we can't get that, so it's a loan with an option. Now it's just a loan, and we don't want anyone else in.
If he plays every minute for Fulham, they pay
free.
zero.
If he plays half the games, mate, they don't pay anything for him. So it's purely a financially based decision, right? He's not playing much. We want to boost his value, so we've loaned him out for 6 months so we can try and get more money for him in the summer. Everything is financially driven. Nothing is football. And today was just a fucking shambles, mate. No one played well at all. And it's at times like this, right? I love Thiago Silva. This guy don't deserve to be doing this shit at his age, mate. Like, and it's times like this as well, mate, he gets exposed. Like with Aspilicueta when he was coming to the end of his Chelsea career. You know, it's time to start phasing these players out. You know, but managers will always go over experience. Remember when Tuchel refused to pick Chalobah over Aspilicueta making mistakes? It's the same thing now. Silva needs to play in a back three. Chilwell's better in a back three. Like, as much as we don't want to be playing a back three, right now with what we've got, with how many goals we're conceding, it's probably better for us to go to a back three, tighten up, and then start building in there and start again. Because right now, mate, we've got too many players that are just looking woefully out of their depth. And where's the togetherness on the pitch? You know, where's players digging each other out, saying this is not good enough, this is not acceptable? Why are players not having a go at each other? Where's the fight? The like, you know, if you're not playing well, fucking let each other know you're not playing well, and let them know this is not acceptable. Up your levels, do this, do that. You know, you're not in this position. You need to cover here and there or whatever.
I do feel like
there's no one doing that other than maybe Thiago Silva. No one is digging people out. And I'm not saying you want to have like fights and shit on the pitch, but what I'm saying is you need a bit of passion. You need, like, if you're not pulling your weight, fucking let them know you're not pulling your weight. Don't just let people get away with it.
I think it's difficult though when you're not pulling the weight either. To look, like, I'm not looking at a player and saying, "Wow, you're the one who's leading us forward." And maybe Cole Palmer's an exception, and obviously in Nkunku we know how good he is. But generally speaking, if there's a player pulling the other players up, he has to be playing well himself. There's not many players you could look at and say you are that player.
No, maybe not, but still, like, you should still be doing it. Where are your captains? Where are your leaders? I know Chilwell was awful today, but like, he should be saying something. He's the captain, for fuck's sake. Gallagher's part of the leadership group or whatever it is. Why are you not saying stuff? You know, like Caicedo today was, you know, great pass for the assist, but then I thought it was poor. He was fuming when he got subbed off. He was smashing his seat up on the bench, apparently. I get it, Caicedo. I get it. He was obviously frustrated he was taken off, but I'm sorry. I think he's been good for the last few months, right? Today, other than his assist, poor. Giving the ball away so many times. Giving away stupid fouls in dangerous areas. Like, come on, this sort of shit, we can't do this. You can't do this. Game management, learning, and, you know, it's not just about experience, mate. You know, you need quality as well. I'm not just saying experience. Look at the experience today. Sorry, Sterling. I don't want people to think that I've got an agenda against him. I never want to see this guy in a Chelsea shirt again. He's a fucking disgrace. He's embarrassing us as fans. He's taking the piss. 300k a week. This guy starts all the fucking time. Just all he does, doesn't track back and just runs into players. I'm sick of it. And you've got the manager saying last night that, you know, players are picked on a meritocracy, you know, how they're doing in training and stuff. I'm thinking, right, so it's playing against the meritocracy, which it should be, but yet you've got certain players which you do not drop no matter matter how shit they are. Sterling, Gallagher, to name 2 of them. Right, that is not, it should be level playing field across the board. It shouldn't be different standards for different players. I get it, managers always have favourites, so don't come out giving this meritocracy bullshit and then pick players that are playing shit and don't deserve to play, and they stay on every week without fail, no matter how shit they are. That is not how we should be operating. You play if you deserve to play. I don't care how much money you're on, I don't care what you've done in your career. If you're playing well, you play. If that means that you've won 4 or 5, I don't know if fucking Premier Leagues you won, but you're playing shit, you sit on that bench until you start performing well. It's as simple as that. So I'm sick of this double standards bullshit where, you know, certain players aren't playing because they're not doing well, but other players are doing shit and they are playing. I'm sick of it, mate.
What do you think about Fernandes?
Not great today, but again, these players are getting highlighted because of the money spent on them, you know, and it's not they don't set the price. It's not their fault this much money was paid for them. Obviously, with money comes expectation and becomes heightened criticism. I get it, but also I look at it. Do we need more from him? Yes, we do. Is the team set up in a way that is optimising, like, to get the best out of him? No, I don't think it is. You see the gaps in the midfield, how easy it is for teams to just pass through midfield. Like, this is all coming down to the manager. This has got nothing to do with recruitment. This has got nothing to do with, you know, the sporting directors or whatever it is. This has come down to tactical setup from the manager. Why are there gaping gaps in the fucking midfield that is just so easy to walk through? Why are they not closer together? Why does no one seem to understand what's being asked of them? Why, when things are happening, are we not correcting mistakes on the pitch? Like with the Chilwell thing, being balls in behind. Why are we not stopping that? Why are we not dropping a bit deeper to stop that happening? You know, why is there no communication? Why? I get it, these are all new players, but we just look like we grabbed this lot off the street before the game and just chucked them on the pitch and we're just like, yeah, just see what happens. Like, I don't know where we're going, mate. We're 11th in the table now. That's not where we should be. I think, right at best, we're a Europa League team at the moment. Manager's got to do better. And look, you know, people will say the manager out, as I said, and look, I don't know where I stand right now. He's not doing good enough, and if he weren't in a cup final, I think he'd be gone, if I'm being totally honest. If this cup final wasn't there, I think he'd be gone. But again, how can we trust these directors to bring in the right person next? How can we trust the process to get the right guy in? We can't. And people will say, and like when you say to people like, oh, who would you like to have in? It's like, oh, it's not my decision. Well, your argument just falls down there. Like, you have an opinion of like who you might like to come in. I don't know what the answer is, mate. I don't know what the solution is, but what I do know is that right now I don't recognise this club. It's losing its soul, it's losing its identity. Empty seats today, loads of them before the game. As soon as that penalty went in, like 10-15 minutes to go, grounds emptying out. People have had enough. People are frustrated. Players getting boos at the end, rightfully so. Mate, we're in an identity crisis, and what this club needs more than anything is stability. But it looks like we're probably heading towards another managerial change, more instability, and instability with a team full of young players is asking for big problems. But stuff like this is totally unacceptable, mate. We've shipped 8 goals in two games. You know, losing back-to-back 4-1, 4-2. And we go to Aston Villa on Wednesday and we're in the FA Cup, and you're thinking, how on earth are we getting anything out of that? So right now, mate, a collective responsibility from everyone. Everyone's got to do better. But the biggest problem is, mate, I don't think they know how to do better. And that's the alarming thing, is that I don't think we know how to do any better.
That's a sad thought more than anything, because it's the hope that kills you, but it doesn't even look that there is hope right now, so I don't know what to look forward to.
I don't know where the hope is, mate. Every time you come here, you think, oh, maybe there's a little bit of hope. What I would say is, mate, these players aren't bad players, right? Individually, they're not bad players, but the problem is, as a collective, like, there's not enough experience. We know that, but it's not even about experience. Ultimately, there's not enough reliable players in that team, and when you've got a team full of unreliable players, you're going to get unreliable performances, you're going to get inconsistency. So we shouldn't be surprised that we are losing games and that we are inconsistent, because the very route that we've gone down is designed to give us results and performances like we're getting, because inconsistencies, young players, you're going to get that. So we shouldn't be surprised it's happening, yet we are surprised it's happening. And I think the Roman era is just basically bred like a generation of fans, or a load of fans that are just so ungrateful, basically, like, so a sense of entitlement, you know, that every club goes through a rebuild period, right? We've seen it with United, we've seen it with Liverpool, we've seen it with Arsenal, etc. Yet, for some reason with Chelsea, I'm not standing here and saying that what's going on is acceptable, right? I don't like it, I'm not a fan of it, but football's cyclical. you'll have your go, and we're going through a bad run right now, and to throw your toys out the pram and get rid of the manager and start sulking and all this, right? None of us are happy about this, but football's cyclical, and unfortunately our time was going to come. After 20 years of being so successful and winning everything, the time was going to come where we were going to have a bit of a barren period and be a bit shit, and the first time where things are bad, we're throwing our toys out the pram, we're moaning about things, rightfully so on certain things. I fully agree with that, but you know, we have to kind of just accept that right now this is our turn to go through a bit of a shit time, and that's just the reality for me right now.
Pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much, Charlie.